Hi guys, I am outside in the backyard, friends, and every once in a while I can feel a few sprinkles of water, and I think it's going to rain today. My backyard needs to be mowed, but I don't so much worry about that because last year, remember when we were going through that horrible drought, and I thought I will hook up my washer water so it'll come out and wet my yard, and that's what I've been doing ever since. So I don't worry about the grass dying too much out here. So I don't mind mowing. It's just that I've been lazy. So I think, how to go mow now? But I think, oh, and it's so hot and it's so comfy in my chair. I've got a good Midsummer Murders going, so I'll just sit here. And then before you know it, it's dark and I have to put it off till the next day. So, okay guys, I want to share a little bit of something that that we heard on the TV, the worship service that we watch on TV. It's Dr. Ralph West, and he was talking about, we think that God doesn't always hear our prayers, and sometimes God goes away from us because we don't see an answer to that prayer immediately. And then he reminded us that were in the congregation and watching from home that when Jesus died on the cross, he said, "Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me?" So Jesus went through a time where he didn't hear from God either. That's his own Father. God was there. He was watching. His heart was breaking, but he had to have the plan completed. And so when we're thinking, oh my goodness, God's not even hearing my prayer, he doesn't even care. Friends, if he cared about his only son, but Jesus even felt alone for a while, then just wait. It's just like that song I sang for y'all, I don't know, Friday, they that wait upon the Lord, their strength will be renewed. So I have another one that I want to sing right now. Guys, I'm not some kind of special singer, but a couple of people did ask me what I sing. And I always sing little kids songs for y'all, and that's kind of fun. But when it comes to singing, well, I do sing in church, but all right, well, I've got another scripture song for you, and some of you may have heard it, some of you haven't. If you do know it, sing it along with me, okay? It's very short. Okay. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And that's what the Bible says. Before we can go to God with anything, we have to seek his kingdom first. Admit that we're sinners. Tell God that we believe in him. We believe in Jesus. We believe all that he came for. And then, you know, when we get that settled, then God's going to give us everything because he's our Father. So he's not going to deny us something unless we're begging for it and it's not good for us. And I've had that happen with jobs before. And I was going to say ignore the kids in the background because they're all out on the trampoline. And they've been arguing and arguing and arguing, mostly Carter. She didn't wake up in a really good mood, I think. So she's been very grumpy with her mom. But her mom's got a job that she has to get done. And she said she could go with her or she could stay here. And she didn't want to go and she didn't want to stay. So she had to stay anyway. And she's very unhappy. Now, Coda Bear got so angry at Pawpaw because they drove down to the mailbox on the 4x4. And Lissa had a package come. This is what Pawpaw's telling me. He had a package come all wrapped in pink. And he said that Coda was so excited. The pink package. And she thought it was for her. And she was holding it to her. And when they got up here, Papa said, let's have it. It's for Lissa. And she goes, no, it's my pink package. And he said, no, Coda, which I'm sure Papa didn't take a lot of love and patience in explaining that. He probably said, no, give it here. It's Lissa's. Because he's not a very patient person. And also, he can't hear real good. So he's not hearing every word that Coda was saying. But she wanted that pink package evidently so bad. So she stomped in the house and stomped to her room. And I'm trying to tell her, baby, the pink package was for Lissa. You have to wait, till you get a package in the mail. Anyway, she got a little upset with me too. But I would tell y'all this is funny. She's off of her passy. And I think I told y'all that they told her that the dinosaurs, they took away her passies for all the dinosaur babies. She was so mad about that. And she said, the dinosaur made me so angry. It took all my passies. And my daddy hunted for the dinosaur and he couldn't find the dinosaur. And she's standing there with her little arms crossed and her little lips twitching. Every once in a while she stomped her foot. Anyway, she's pretty much accepted it now. We thought it's been a couple of months. So the other day, we got some packages. And one of them was about this big. And she said, oh, please let that be my passies. Please let that be my passies. And my heart broke for her. I said, sweetie, you can't have any more passies. If you do have passies, the dinosaurs will take them again. And she thought about it a while, and then, she was happy with things we did open, and I let her go put them away, but it was not passies. She was just praying, oh, please let it be my passies. Please let it be my passies. My heart just kind of broke for her, not having a passy. And Dustin smokes. And Tina's always trying to get him started. He's very good. He doesn't smoke in the house. He doesn't smoke in the car. And I never smell smoke on the girls. If I did, I would get on to him. But those passies had to be a little bit like smoking, I would imagine. It's just like eating, any kind of a habit. And so I'm thinking, dinosaurs took her passies away. Why can't the dinosaurs take those cigarettes away? Is it going to be any harder for him than it was for this little 2-year-old girl to lose her passy? So, I don't know. I ate so much ice cream yesterday, I thought I was going to be sick. And then I forgot we had to go to Daniel's. I forgot we go on Sunday nights now. So I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know how I can eat another bite. I go eat all that ice cream. And not was it ice cream, I took a little cup of chocolate and a little cup of vanilla. And then I put those in my bowl. And then I put a blob of Cool Whip on top. And then I put walnuts all over that. It was so good. Anyway, I did manage to eat when we went to Daniel's. Something really good, actually. It was pulled pork. The recipe was from North Carolina, and someone sent him barbecue sauce from North Carolina, and it was really, really good. So I did eat one sandwich. There were only the little, what do you call them, the King's Hawaiian rolls. So that was, and I managed to eat hardly no chips. So it was okay that I had that ice cream. Dinner yesterday was weird because Buddy said, "Gee, what did you season this with?" "Nothing, my regular stuff." And he says, "It tastes like you used some kind of a licorice." No, I did not put licorice into the gravy. And then they start naming all of these things that could maybe have given it a licorice flavor. And I don't taste licorice. I just taste gravy. And then got Dustin started. So he gets up and he goes, looks in my whole spice cabinet. "Did you use blah, blah? Did you use blah, blah? Did you?" No, I used herb and garlic season. I don't know if it's got something licoricey in it, but it's what I use all the time. I use seasonal or seasoned salt. That's all. But anyway, they kept telling me, and they weren't joking. At first I thought they were joking because, I love licorice. But then when Stephanie said it too, she said, "I wonder if it tastes a little bit like it could be anise," and she's naming things. And so then I realized, well, they're serious. And so then Kim says, "Yeah, I can taste something a little different." And I'm thinking, Lord, I don't know. But the whole pot got eaten. So I guess it wasn't too bad licoricey because they ate it all. But the only thing I did, and I was very upset with myself, I used a whole package of broccoli and a whole package of cauliflower, which everybody loves. But if y'all will remember, Papa put some okra into the freezer without blanching it or anything. And everybody told him, "That's not going to be any good." Well, I went ahead and put a package of that okra that was from last summer, and I don't think it had like a freezer taste, I think, and I couldn't eat the vegetables. And there was a whole lot of vegetables left when usually there's not. I'm just thinking that okra ruined that whole pot of veggies. So I'm not going to trust Pawpaw anymore when he just sticks something in the freezer and says, "Oh, it's going to be good, it'll last," and he doesn't even roll it down tight. But that's a man, right? And Papa loves to put things up, but he's just going to have to go back to doing things where he blanches them. And I look like I have, maybe the rain started to hit my face. I don't know if y'all can see that. See the swing set back there and the little chair sitting. That's still an enclosure it was for the horse and the goats, but the little horse likes so much better to be out with the other goats so she can go out into the big pasture. So she pretty much stays out there now. Anyway, Ben is down mowing for our next door neighbor, Logan. He's in Pennsylvania right now, running some kind of a little, I don't know, like a tiki bar or something for his dad. And he'll be back after the summer season's over, which I think will be the week after Labor Day. So somewhere in Pennsylvania, it must be summer things going on, and so they have a little place. So Ben's been mowing Logan's a little bit in the back. He couldn't mow very much in the back at first because the flood, and he got stuck once. Jake had to go pull him out. I'm sure y'all saw that on a video, because Jake likes to get everything that's going on and stick it on a video. But after he got stuck, I think he just didn't try going back down in the sloughs anymore. So anyway, we've all got our own things going on. I told Papa I need my 4 o'clocks watered, because we haven't had any rain, and I don't know why we haven't had any rain. They said this is supposed to be hurricane season, and this is supposed to be a big hurricane season for us. And I'm praising God there hasn't been any hurricanes, but I thought at least we might get a little more rain than what we usually do, and we haven't. So Papa's out watering the front, whatever they're called, those 4 o'clocks that I just said, and he's just kind of letting the water dribble in him, and he's ever so often moving it on down the line. I didn't want to water them myself because Paul has kind of this, well, it's kind of a raggedy water hose, and it's one of those heavy ones. He's probably had it 100 years. It's so heavy. And the nozzle, you don't pull the trigger, you have to turn it while you hold it out, and you turn it, and it gets to just the nozzle part. You just turn the nozzle part. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm not even going to attempt that. I'll just ask him, will he water for me? So anyway, guys, there's still stuff going on here. Like you always say, since the flood, since the flood, since the flood. And, things washed up. And like I see one of the fence things is broke right there. Just little things that you think, will you ever get caught up? And sometimes I think it would be so much better, well, not for everybody, but for me, if I lived somewhere. I would hate to live in the city. If you lived somewhere and all you had was a little yard and you could just mow it and sit in it and it looked beautiful, and I think you could be more content all the time without looking out and say, oh my gosh, I gotta get that done. But I don't know, I probably thrived on that when I was younger, because I would put on my swimsuit and get out. I've used the push mower and I mowed everywhere. And the kids, I'd say, hey, come on, it's yard work, and I'd make them pull all the grass around the trees because I liked everything so perfect. But that was another season. I think the Bible talks about seasons, and when you get to a certain season, you put away your childish things. That's when we grow up, right? But that was an awesome season for me. My hair was still black. I was a little bit thinner. I could push that more. I'd get started here, then I'd think, why not go on there? And I kept everything mowed with the push mower, and it was awesome. And I'd never get tired, and my legs would not hurt, and I could just push forever. And I always did this in my bikini swimsuit. So if I put on a bikini swimsuit now, I would not go in my yard. I would not go from one room to the other if anyone was in my house. So no, I can't do the bikini thing anymore. But anyway, guys, that was another season. And we go through seasons. I don't know, Papa goes through seasons. He's always pretty much done the same thing. When he retired from the bus, I guess he finally said, that season's gone. Now this is my new season. But no matter what you want your season or your time of life to be like, our bodies, even though God has blessed me so much, your body gets old. And you just get, I'm not going to say run down, but your mind. My mother used to say, my spirit's willing, but my body's not. And I understand that now. Sometimes she wouldn't do things with us, or she wouldn't go somewhere with us. She said, my spirit's willing, but my body's not. And I see that now. Mom would get tired. Sometimes I don't even like to go to Daniel's on Sunday nights because we go at 7 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock, I am pooped. But anyway, talking about a little about seasons, and I don't know what season y'all are in. I wish I could have stayed in that season about 30 years ago. That would be awesome if I could still be in that 30-year-old season. But I did not go to church yesterday. It was my turn to cook, but we did watch our church services, and I've shared that with you. And I don't know what church to go to. I've gone on Google, and I've searched churches, in the Cleveland, Texas area, and I don't know. It comes up with a few, but Jean's cousin goes to something called L8 Cuz. Him and his wife have been members forever at, oh my gosh, I can't even think what it's called. I'm so sorry, guys. But Dustin and Jill tried there a couple of times, and they seemed to like it, and they said there's a lot going on for kids, and it's a good song service. So I'm so sorry. I can't for the life of me think what the name of that church is. It'll come to me maybe in the middle of the night. I saw somebody at Walmart once, and she's just talking, naming my kids by name, and I said, well, how's all your kiddos? And I'm thinking, Jesus, help me. Who is this? And I knew that I knew her. And this has been several years ago. And then I promise you, in the middle of the night, something clicked in my mind. I'm sound asleep, and I go, Charlene Gilmore. That's who that was. So now Charlene has some problems. She's my age, and she's in the nursing home that we used to visit. And that's something that I miss since we haven't gone to Plum Grove Assembly. We haven't been to the nursing home. And I feel guilty about that, but I don't know if you could just drop in and visit people, because when Brother Dean made the arrangements for us to come once a week, the only time slot we could come was between 10 and 10:30. So I don't want to show up there at 10 and be there with pastor, our ex-pastor, and I don't want to show up at another time and interrupt, while somebody's preaching, start talking to everybody and interrupt what's going on. So we have not been to the nursing home, and that is something that I really do miss. And I guess we could go on and go with our church, but it just doesn't seem appropriate. I don't know. That might be my crazy mind telling me it's not. That might be the devil telling me it's not. But so far, it hasn't caused Kim and I to want to go. I guess that's something we're just not going to do right now. But guys, I'm going to tell you, we had a really good weekend. It was Saturday was a very, very relaxing day, and we got to watch a lot of. Y'all know that I'm into BritBox movies, and Midsummer Murders come out with a whole new. I think it's like we watched to season 15, and that was the end of it. We thought. But just the other day, it said that Midsummer Murders had released through season 24. So, boy, are Papa and I enjoying it, just watching Midsummer Murders one after the other. So, but I love BritBox. On BritBox, generally, you do not hear the F word or GDs or anything. They say bloody hell. And they said, we had a row. I think that's so funny. That's what Mr. Oh, Papa and I had a row. Kim and I had a row. Because I think a row is an argument or a fight. But some of their words, they said a really funny word a couple of days ago. And I said, I'm going to start saying that word. Nobody will know. And they're so polite. They don't say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Like we do. Just, they say, can I have a word? And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Can I have a word? So I was going to try that on Daniel. See if he would know what I was saying. And I go, Daniel, can I have a word? He goes, sure, Mom, what's up? I thought, well, I don't really have anything to say. I just wanted to say, could I have a word, and see if he would understand what I was talking about. So that was kind of silly of me, but he said, sure, Mom, what's going on? He's ready for that word. And I really had nothing to say. I just wanted to say, could I have a word? I'm goofy. All right. Let me think. Is there anything else I haven't brought y'all up to date on? Of course, you know Papa's working on his kitchen. He wasn't going to have one, guys, but we just gave in and let him do what he wants to do. He's got his own things in his head, just like I have my own things in my head, and Kim has her own things in her head, and she's trying to tell Dad what he should have done different. I said, let him go. Let him build his kitchen the way he wants to. The only thing we did insist is that he does air. It has to be air conditioned because it's very enclosed. And now when I look out the window, I can't even see if he's out there or not. I have to look for him wherever I might see the mule part, and then that's where I know where he is. But other than that, I think we're pretty much up to date on everything. Sometimes if you do a video too many days in a row, you end up repeating yourself, and I'm sure people get tired of that. Let's see, didn't she say that yesterday? I'm so tired of hearing her. She just repeats herself. So maybe I should stick to scriptures and talking about Jesus and let the other stuff go. I don't know. So like I said, we are waiting for rain, and it's very blue over here, and it keeps thundering. But so far, no rain. But I'm waiting for Bree to get rid of her little job that she had to do. I'll tell you guys, I don't know if hope she's not making a video. It's bound to be gross, but some coons got into some of Daniel's teenage chickens last night, and there was no way to get in, so they more or less worked on the chickens, pulling them through. So y'all say, you know, a lot of y'all, you don't understand if you've never lived on a farm. You don't know the damage that a coon can do. But yeah, that was really bad, and not something that she wanted the kids to see or wanted Carter to see. Although it's part of farm life. And things happen. Things happen like that. And I don't know, we've had traps out and everything. Finally, the coons left here. Papa had trapped so many of them and taken them to the back. And now, instead of coming back here, they've all started going toward Daniel and Breeze. We need a good dog, like something like a black lab. We used to have a black lab a long time ago. He was the best dog. And I don't know why we didn't get another one when we got Heidi. Although Heidi was an angel dog. But a black lab is a good dog to keep outside for other stray dogs and for coons and for, you know, bad stuff that comes up. But all right, guys, you know, I'm getting a little bit hot out here. It was so nice when I come out. But now I think the blue's gone sort of that way more, and now I've got a sun right here. There might be even a glare on my face. I am starting to perspire a little. So, friends, I just want to say I love y'all. Thank you so much for praying for me. And please know that I am praying for you. And if you need a special prayer, well, you know, personal message me or PM me. I hate when they say that. PM me, personal message me, and I will start praying immediately. And I pray for y'all several times a day. When I think of something that's going on with me or a friend, I just include all of my followers in that. So I don't forget about y'all. All right, friends, I love you so much. I'm going to go. I'm sure there's some kind of glare on me. I'll have to go in the house and make sure that, that this is going to be able to post. So I love you all so much. Be happy. Find something and be happy. God bless.